You know, when we think about retail, we often think about online shopping, and we're actually starting to see the in-store shopping stronger than it has been in quite some time. We're excited about that. I think these numbers that we come on here and talk about 400,000, 500,000 jobs, eventually we'll kind of revert back to a normal process here. I have not seen that since I've been Labor Secretary because we're recovering from a pandemic. But overall, 95% of the jobs that were pre-pandemic have recovered.
Front Row, exclusive interviews with the most influential figures in finance. Lloyd Blankfein.
Deflation is a terrible thing. Inflation you could tolerate.
Kathy Wood.
Tesla will be in the pole position to dominate.
Jeremy Grantham.
We've had a very, very abnormal honeymoon Goldilocks period.
First available on the Bloomberg Terminal, then on Bloomberg Television and Bloomberg.com. Front Row, the best seats in the house for business's greatest minds.
Crypto, you have a world of young people that want their own financial system and their own culture. And it is very powerful, and I'm a big believer in it.
Slow down. We can't afford any type any type of bump in negotiation. I was in LA a week ago, and I think at the time I was there, we had 27 ships in the harbor. When I was there 3 months before that, there was 67 ships. So we're seeing a lot of ease of cargo coming into the ports. But we also, on the other side of the ocean, we're seeing ships lined up in China that eventually will be loaded and brought to the United States. So we just need to continue to keep our supply chain moving forward.
Secretary Walsh, we've touched on this together in the past. I want to do it again. What do you think the difference is between leveraging your position as a port worker with the union representing you and holding the economy hostage? What's the difference?
Well, I think it's important. My role as Secretary of Labor is important because I've literally negotiated on both sides of the table. I've negotiated on the labor side and I've negotiated on the management side when I was mayor of the city of Boston. And I think that it's not, I don't need to get involved, and we don't need to get involved in this negotiation unless we have to. And I think that anytime there's a negotiation going on in this country, it's always better to try and do it without a mediator or without somebody intervening, because it shows that both sides are committed to getting it done. I feel in this particular case on the ports of the West Coast, both sides are very committed to getting a contract done.
Secretary Walsh, I just wanted a final question about the release of the data and the process. It's not responsible for the prices on the screen. The equity market's been a mess the last few days, but it was responsible for some volatility around 8:30 Eastern time. As you know, the process for releasing the jobs numbers has changed somewhat. There used to be these lockups where you'd get the information before and the media organisations would sit on it responsibly, then release it at 8:30 Eastern time. That's changed. Now everyone's scraping the information off the websites, the internet. Of course, HFTs, web scrapers, people with that edge get the numbers then before, say, the retail trader. Can we reassess this? Would you go back over the process and have a look at it again?
Well, I know it was clearly pre-pandemic, but in this particular case, the way we release the information, everybody gets it at the same time. It's a fair way to do it. Every news outlet, from big news outlets to medium news outlets to small news outlets, get the same exact information at the same exact time. And I think that, I think there was an evaluation here, and one of the results was that we're better off being fair than not fair. The people that had the ability to send people to this building and get the information, yet a smaller news outlet in the Midwest couldn't get here.
But they all release it at the same time, sir, at 8:30 Eastern time. That's the whole point. The problem is that when you release it on the website, not everyone gets it from the website because they don't get it as quickly as other people. Do you understand that? That other organisations, you can have a wider spread of organisations that can push out their information simultaneously without racing to the website.
Well, I mean, I don't know if racing to the website is a problem. I think that when you hit the website, everyone has the ability to get the information at the same time. If it's at this building, everyone does not have the ability to come to this building.
Okay, that's your perspective. Secretary Walsh, we appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you.
I know you're super, super busy again. Thank you for being with us this morning. Thank you very much. From New York City, that does it for me. This was the countdown to the open, and here's your price action. We are all over the place again. We're negative 1.8% on the S&P, down more than 2 percentage points on the NASDAQ. I can't keep up at all. In the bond market too, with yields higher at the long end, then coming back in, yields higher at the front end, now lower by 4 or 5 basis points to 265.71. Guy Johnson is going to take over things from now from New York City. For our audience worldwide, this is Bloomberg.
Companies now, they're getting hundreds, maybe even thousands of applications. So software has come in to automate the process.
You want to write your resume for robots, not for humans. The only job your resume has is to be comprehensible to the software that is reading it, because that software or robot is going to decide whether or not a human ever gets their eyes on it.
These things are programmed by a certain segment of the population that might not be totally inclusive or not be fully aware.
Concerns about how this technology could exacerbate discrimination. For the FTC, I think foremost, the FTC needs to be making sure that we're fully understanding this technology.
We don't trust companies to self-regulate when it comes to pollution. We don't trust them to self-regulate when it comes to workplace comp. Why on earth would we trust them to self-regulate AI?
What is going on, everybody? How are you guys doing today? Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is your boy Christian Israel, and you are tuned in to Christ and Crypto in the Morning. We are here every single day, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. to start your day about 30 minutes after the equities market opens here in these states. And we come here to look at the market in threes. The first part will be from a technical perspective in our long sum, short sum section, where we're going to go over kind of just a general market analysis, using Elliott Wave, theory using Fibonacci and just using every other different kind of technicals and kind of go over our normal market watch. In the number 2 spot, which will be coming in second, we'll be doing the news. And we're going to focus on Algorand today. There's a little thread done by Fox River developer. And we're going to go over his thread as well as some of the other things in the algo system just to kind of get a new look on, I guess, more of an update of what's going on in algo. Also, last but not least, in 3, because this is a show that does the Trinity, we go on the news, the market from technical, and then the second one is from the news cycle, and third is from the biblical perspective, where we obviously talk about Christ. This is Christ and crypto, and I'm not going to come at you all day telling you how great God is and how Jesus is your Savior. I will go into scriptures towards the end where we kind of put everything into perspective, though. But for the first part, we do our technical analysis, followed by our news cycle. Third, we get our daily scriptures. It's simple. So today is all blood. Yesterday is all blood. The question is, guys, will this end anytime soon? Will it end anytime soon? I want to say good morning to you. I see Dragon Fire Crypto is already here in the chat. Good morning, brother. Good morning, world. And we will see what crypto has in store. My eyes are on the watch right now. And hopefully we don't break into a big sweat on this channel today if everything dumps farther than we'd like it to. Because, boy, we are holding on for dear life right now. Dear life across the markets. I mean, dear life. So, with that said, guys, let's go ahead and go into our long sum, short sum intro and get this party started. Let's fade to black. All right, guys, we are here. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I almost sneezed immediately into the mic just now. My nose is already itching. You know the cat gets going. I'm your boy, Christian Israel, and you are tuned in to Long Sum, Short Sum. If you are here, this is the first section of our Christ and Crypto show in the morning. This is where we go over the market from a technical perspective. And technically right now, the markets are full of blood over the last 24 to really the last 7 days. Has been brutal. Just brutal. And what's going on in Bitcoin right now? It is at $35,797 in the number 1 spot. And the number 2 is Ethereum pushing on down. Woo! $2,668. BNB sitting at $374. That thing just kind of holds steady within a $70 range. XRP in the number 4 spot. Trying to hold strong. It's not dumping as hard as everything else did in the top 5. It is at 59.53. Solana is at 81.23 in the number 5 spot. Number 6 spot is Terra Luna at 78.5. Cardano at 77.47. Dogecoin at 12.5. Polkadot at 14.09. And to round out the top 10, AVAX at 55.85. And guys, the market watch right now is ugly. It is ugly. The Dow is already down 1.37% on the open. We don't like that. And here's why I don't like that. The NASDAQ just made a lower low. The NASDAQ composite just made a lower low over here and is trying to break down. And I said, if this breaks down, we could be looking down here at 10.92. So we're going to watch that because, I mean, really, I just don't, we got to watch it. We don't have a choice to watch it because it's the world that we live in. Now, XRP is something I'm watching here on the side because it doesn't look like the other charts. It just does not look like the other charts, and we'll get into that later. But this NASDAQ composite, man, look at that. Working its way down. Breaking under the thought plus that I thought. So we're seeing if we have a 5. We just got to have to watch where this goes overall. We're just going to have to watch it. The Dow Jones, as you can see here, did not make a lower low yet, but it is trying to push down. as long as it doesn't break below 32.45. Okay, but we are watching because, man, I don't know. I'm going to be honest. Let's be honest. We don't know what's going on in the NASDAQ. We don't know why they're choosing to sell off right now. It's a very capitulative and scary story for them. But in reality, when it comes to equities, the equities market are not really retail investors, right? The retail investors are leveraging mainly in crypto. Okay, so where does all the leverage come from in crypto? Mainly retail investors. But in the equities market, when it comes, the heavy tech, those are companies, and companies are de-risking right now at the bottom of the chart. And I say at the bottom because, let me go to my actual, see here. Oh, are we not loading? I had this somewhere. Give me 1 second. As soon as I get my life together. Look how, we got some slowness going on in my computer. Do I have things open that I don't know are open? We are moving slow. Anyway, let me go to this chart. I don't got time to look for it right now. We are on a schedule. So this is what I was concerned about, is this parabola here. You guys know we've been following this parabola for a little bit, and it did break out and back test 35.3. Now I almost longed that yesterday, sent out of that, but I just didn't want to. We took a bunch of swings yesterday, 1 to 2% swings for XRP. I think we made 4% total yesterday just on the trade bounces, swing bounces with XRP. And we want to look at some others, and we are not the equities trades right now. To be honest with you guys, we're gonna have to. I don't know if I want to cut them loose yet, because I don't think we've never been in a situation like this. Not as long as I've been living. I mean, 2008, yes, but in reality, since 2008, I mean, that's 14 years ago, the markets have just gone straight up. So looking at equities, we're not sure, is this really going to do what crypto does and stop at support? Like, are we going to have a support stop? Bitcoin, I'm looking at right here at the S2. It is sitting there. We're there. I just realized I meant to wear a hat today, and I did not put a hat on. I forgot. I didn't do the gel in the hair thing. Took the kid to school and just said, you know what, I'll throw a hat on today. I won't really do that. And I just remembered that I am on camera looking rough today. So I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me. It's a Friday, and I really just wanted to dive in and look at these. And in reality, there is no need to look at really a lot of crypto, period. As long as this keeps dumping, altcoins are going to flush. They are really, really going to flush. And what I mean by that is, let's go ahead and start looking at a couple. Apple, I actually almost shorted, and I'm mad I did not short. I got tricked out of shorting this. What tricked me out? This pump right here. This pump right here on Apple said, okay, I guess because a little bit of volume came in, it gave a little higher high on the volume, and I'm like, you know what? Looks like I guess I won't be shorting that. And then boom, the next day it dumps. Algo, which we'll be looking at earlier. This is a long that we are looking at entering. And the question is, did I enter this long? Let me see if I entered the long. I cannot wait until I'm out of here and don't have to listen to that construction anymore. No more construction. Okay, maybe it's just my internet's being weird. Let's see. Oh, there we go. No. Okay, so we are live in the algo trade. Still good. The algo trade entered at 62.25 with a stop loss of 53.5. So still gravy there. There was a take profit yesterday, obviously, that I completely forgot to send out, which was 68 cents on the take profit. I'm trying to hear. So there's construction in the back, and they just want to bang now that I am live. I don't know if you can hear it. I'm trying to see if you can hear it and pick it up in the mic. If you can, I am so sorry. This will be done soon. In 30 days, I will no longer be here. We will be in a non-construction area, and I'm looking forward to that. So, okay, so it looks like since I forgot to take my profit at 68 cents, we're going to let this ride up more and try to get the next spot. I really hope that's not a double top here and that we don't do this as I look at this. I really hope this is not what plays out and we come all the way back to 51 cents. Because that will not make me happy if that happens because I forgot to take profit there. But now we are sitting at 64 cents. So hopefully this continues to hold because at a higher, this is our main target area up here for algo. So we'll see that. What else did I want to talk about today? I didn't talk about algo because we're going to talk about algo in the news cycle. So I wanted to show you where algo was looking. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C could it be? Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're looking again and it's hard to speak with such, this is where we have to long, right? Because I am not a market maker. I'm not. I cannot predict exactly when we say long or we say short or we say this. It is an educated gamble, right? It is what it is. And anyone who tells you that the stock market is not gambling, I don't know what to tell you. Now, the government won't tell you that. They'll tell you that the stock market is for only rich people and you can go gamble at the casino, right? But not a casino where you can make money, because the casino, you're there to lose, and no matter what, you're probably going to lose. And in the stock market, if you are smart and you do things right, you preserve capital, you can win a lot, whether it be margin trading or hodling. And this is why we don't swing trade our hodl positions, right? When we get to our targets, if it's 3-year trade or 4-year trade, whatever it may be, our hodls are 3 to 4 year trades. Our day trades are different. I think people get that confused, right? Well, why didn't you swing here and here? Because that's not how you trade that. You don't trade that way with your large holdings. Not me anyway. Not in crypto. Not when you have up 20% one day, down 20% the next day. You'll get smoked in fees. So what we want to look at here is really just the overall structure of the markets. And one of those is the total crypto market. And so if I'm looking for positives, my whole thing is to look for positives. And this is the total crypto market. And I'm going to show you. So we are currently same like Bitcoin was, and it's not looking good. If this chooses not to hold, do you see what's happening? We have our parabola here that's working its way up. Right here. Okay. And then we are also trying to hold on top under the 702. But look, right there. I need to make that green so you can see it because that is not red. Boom. It is trying to hold right now and today. And this is my thing that into tomorrow, this needs to kind of grind up slowly over the next couple of days. That's a 3-day candle, which ends today in 9 hours and 45 minutes. So if I bring this on the daily candle, just so you can get a slightly better look at this. So this is what we're looking at, trying to hold the total market cap excluding Bitcoin. Now, for those who invest in Ethereum, I hate to tell you, this ballpark pony show is over for all-time highs. The lower it continues to go, the more that I am set that, okay, all-time highs in are done with Ethereum, and money is going to move out of Ethereum into other positions. So this is what we're watching for, because this is excluding just Bitcoin, which means it includes Ethereum. So we want to watch how this plays out. We are at the, let's see if I can get you a more accurate so you can see. You know what? I want to take this one here and move it to the center. Boom. 1 point. See, so this is where we are. We back tested 0.382. We've back tested now 4.414. The question is, will this area hold as well as the 702? We do not want to break below this, because then, I mean, look, this is the altcoin market cap. And down here, that is July of 2021. And I don't know where we're going, but some of the assets were not as high as they were right now when the market cap was what is this? $200 billion lower. So if it continues to go lower, we should be concerned about the altcoins we hold, especially if you play in high risk altcoins. And I'm going to tell you that right now. If you play in high risk altcoins and this breaks, they're going close to zero. I'm not even sure what altcoin it is. I'm telling you right now, most altcoins are ready to go to zero. One of those is Solo, or is it Solo? Songbird? Yeah, right? Like that is looking, technically, that is not looking pretty, even though it's a up into a flag that is bearish. It's not looking pretty. So when we say that, we know that we are in a complete area of sadness, right? And what do I mean by depression? Is this chart that I'm sure all of you guys have seen at least once in your life, right? You got to be reminded. This is an emotional check, okay? And I think we are in this area right here. Because this is all we have done for 6 months. Literally. This is it. And I know that sounds crazy. Here's the chart right here. If I take this and then we look at that. One more time. Hold on, let me bring this over so you guys can get a closer look. I wonder if I can do this. Hold on. I don't think I can. Oh, I can. I did not know I could do that. Well, there's a fun little tidbit for you. Look at this. Now, you don't have a slightly higher high. It's a little reversal here, but you have this into this, high into lower high. See that? And then straight down. Straight down. Little bounce. Comes down. Now, this says it gets a little, like we have some lows, so we don't, this is playing a little differently, but this feels like we're down in here and pushing. So, are we in depression yet? No, but we're getting there if this makes a lower low. Right? We will see if that's how this plays out. Now, again, do you see these levels here? This is where it's going 30, 35, 34, 33. Like those are the next levels of breakdown if this decides to completely break down. I'm not sure it is because this is where things have to hold, but this is just a reminder of your market psychology. And that's why we feel down in this area. And that's why I believe the grind is getting ready to start. Like it, and I'm going to tell you, and this is me convincing the market makers, yo, you have to, or the whole thing is going to come crashing down. That's where we are. I'm not saying we're going to lower lows. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we are holding. I am long XRP right now. I am long Algo right now. I did get out of the NASDAQ. Because I wasn't sure. I'm like, you know what? Let me cut this before we get another 700 point down. And then it wicks up. So we can get a nice entry at a lower point. We will. But I think it's really important to see where the market psychology is right now. I did not know I could copy and paste in there. That is a fun thing. Oh, I've got some fun charts coming towards you guys later. So this is where we're at, guys. Again, it's just straight up do or die. Like that's really what it is. It's do or die in the markets. Let's look at ETH real quick. Same thing. See, and I think I drew something for you guys yesterday, and I'll have to find it. And I don't know if ETH is gonna be in the same world, but I always say whenever we see this and it gets down in here, it just falls over. Right? Now there's a good chance this comes here and breaks up and goes to here, which is 4,000, which is probably that exact. Look at that. See? Yep. Okay. So I gotta remember, what did we talk about that I drew? I drew you guys a chart yesterday. What is this? This is Luna. Is Luna holding? Woo! Look at Luna on its parabola. So this possibility to come down to 75 on this. It's sitting at 79. But look, do you see? It is holding that parabola. Like it's wicked under, but it needs to hold. And that's kind of where everything is. It's like, oh my gosh, we are on edge. Netflix trying to hold that last box. QQQ trying to hold that last line of defense. See that? Sand. Try it. This is that last line, 177. That's why you have all these lines here. Sol. Trying to hold that last line of defense as well. The S&P have not done that. The SPY have not really looked at that. The waves. Yes, Wave is trying to do the same thing. Waves is something that I am definitely made a little bit of money off of. Trying to get that to whoop. See that? Just all that pullback, the big pullback like that. Screams. Let's see if we can get an entry. Twitter, man, we're waiting on this because Twitter is holding that 0.5. If we can get in there again and fire this up, we were outside of that downward. You know, we haven't come down from that parabola yet. So we haven't, you know. So we're going to see, watching that clear and closely. So I'm not really sure what is going to happen there. I'm going to see. I don't know what BLZ is there, and I don't think I have. I do not know what BLZ is. I'm going to assume it's this on Coinbase. Yep, this is all you have. I mean, I don't know what the market cap here is on this. Ilya. But what I can tell you is I just be careful. $1702, 1.414 is now rejected at the 5, rejected the 4.414 lower. This looks like it's going to make a leg lower. And what I mean by that, down here. Now let's see if we can get a measured move from that and see if I'm right. See if we get something close to it. So if this is the measured move there, I got to bring this over so we can see because it has not made a lower low. So there's the measured move that we're trying to see if it's working its way down. It has not come down to the point. Oh, look at that. 2.702, finish move, 2.414. You normally get a wick below that, 5 to 10% lower than that move if it decides to do that. So let's see here. I said 5 to 10% below. It's 11% below that break. So that's a good area to see that. I mean, now, I'm not saying that this has to break, but that's what happens if this area right here breaks. Okay? If you're breaking right where we are right now, that is where you are going. And I'm going to do one more for you if we have it on World, NFT Worlds for you. Let's see if we have any data. Are you going to load? Here's NFT Worlds. Yeah, there's just nothing but wicks here. There you go. So NFT Worlds, if this is, you know, these are lines. See what happens when I put the wicks on there? It looks insane. So this is what we're looking at. You know, don't have much data. You really don't. So you can't. This is all I can show you. I can't tell you which direction this is going to go. I don't have enough data. Nor do I like to play in these because look, it just keeps getting lower and lower and lower. So it's already gone lower than that. I mean, in reality, if I can be honest with you, I can say, yeah, 10 cents. If you're happy and you know it. Because I'm going to be honest with you. If it doesn't stop at 10 cents, 10.7, you will be looking at under a penny. Because that's a 2.414. And that's what you're looking at with no data. So take that for what it is, man. There's not a lot of data to look at there. So that is for you. If you guys have other questions you want to come on sometimes and ask, you're more than welcome. But really, guys, this is what we are watching, is the total market cap, excluding Bitcoin, to see if this is where we want to go. And what is concerning to me, guys, and I think it's important, Is we don't know, but it is Friday. We know we get pumps on Friday, and it looks like the stock market's been the one holding everything down. So you see the Dow Jones, there's a wick. Maybe we can get a turnaround. Maybe we can get a turnaround on the Dow Jones and go from there. So last but not real quick look, and here's we'll know. Amazon, oh, little green. Yep. Apple, up, little green. Okay, so not too bad. In the meantime, guys, this is your boy Christian Israel. If you got any other questions, please put them in the comments. Like, subscribe. Goal is always to get 10 likes on everything we upload. If you can, help us out, please. Non-sponsored, so the only way this show moves on is because of your support. Appreciate all you do. Comment, like, subscribe. Do the social media thing, guys. Until next time, this is your boy Christian Arrow. This is Long Sum Short Sum. God bless, and I'll talk to you soon. Let's go ahead and hit that outro. So, I hope I tried to be a little positive. I haven't been so positive in that first one, mainly because I don't see a lot of positivity. Not yet. I mean, I can say I see positivity, that these are bottoming aspects of it. But you're not the only one that gets set on this, right? I have market psychology too. But I think we are way past anxiety, denial, and panic. Because right yesterday, that's what it felt like. But here's the thing is, I felt like this is what it's been doing the whole time. So maybe yesterday, right? That pump up, pump down, maybe that was yesterday. I'm not sure. But it feels like we are down here, guys. This is where we feel. And I think May is going to grind us up into the disbelief. Into hope, which will be in June. Into July, into optimism. Into belief in August. Into thrill in September. Into euphoria. Top of October. And then I think that's the blow off top. I think that's when everything comes down. So that's where we are. I'm checking. Looking. Okay. So, let's go ahead. You're welcome, Ilya. You're welcome, my man. Just be careful. Be careful with these because it's hard. Like this is the time though, and I'll tell you, this is one time when money is really made, because these are the times that I'm like, I got along here, but not comfortable. That's why yesterday I was catching those little bounces. I'm not using a lot of money, just a little bit, just building up. You know, I go like 25% of my balance until I'm up 25% and then close. You know, that's what it is. I told you next week. Right? Next week, guys, I will be starting to really show you what I am looking for. I'm going to tell you about the challenge, and I don't know, maybe I got to figure it out. But I'm going to trade and stream. I think I'm not sure how to go about this, but I am going to take a certain amount of money and try to turn it into another certain amount of money in 14 days. 10 business days, 14 days, and I want you to come along. And I'm going to sit here and I'm going to focus and I'm going to trade and we're going to talk about it. And I'm going to update you every single day because I want to implement these theories that I'm doing into my clients for when the market is topped, and for the clients, we want to short that whole thing coming down. And I want to make that point in time when we hit, for all of my clients to be so happy that they held on through all of this, because on the way down, when we get back to the top, when we know it's that top, right, that 55,000 area for Bitcoin, we're going to short the market But on my way up, I'm going to build personal profits to show you, to get comfortable and how we do it, show you how I do it, show you the discipline it takes, because I've been practicing, like literally taking a very small amount, turning it into something. So here's an example. Taking $50 and turning it into 500, right? I've done that over the last week and a half, doing just setting myself for the trades that I want to set, letting it play out. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to take a larger sample size of that and see if we can make some real money. And then from there, I'm going to take that strategy and implement it for the Bitcoin short. That's what I'm looking at doing as we get into this, because as we grind up over the summer and into the fall, people aren't going to realize that we are in a complete bull run. Once we get back to 50K, that's when all the money is going to come back into crypto. And that's when we're going to be selling. So there's a little insight into how this market is going to move. Other than that, guys, let's go ahead and jump into our daily topic. You know what to do. Hit that social media thing, man. I know people are scared and bloody and don't want to come to the charts when we're all red, but this is when you should come to this channel. You should absolutely come to this channel when the markets are red, because the way we do is we look for wealth before they do. Let's go ahead and fade to black and go into the daily topic. Thanks for being here. Okay, guys, we are back. We are back. So we're going to talk about Algorand today. Nothing too crazy. I just want to walk through some stuff because you guys know a lot of people paid a lot of money for the NFTs, right? A lot of people paid a lot of money for the NFTs transactions recently. And sorry, I'm trying to adjust my mic here. And no one wants to pay that much, right? I mean, let me see if I can find it in this article. Oh, that's just let's see. Says, other D's has topped US 700 million in secondary sales at press time, blah, 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 blah. The base fee model introduced a burn mechanism that eliminates ETH for transactions. And that's, okay, here we go. On the other day, Celand, more than 71,000 ETH was burned. Says, what else here? What else? ApeCoin, yep. I'm looking for the fees. Oh, you guys aren't going to do it? Oh, that's rude. All right. People paid a lot of money in fees the other day. So much that I just believe it's just not doable. And so that got me looking around at other assets. And we know that Bitcoin runs on Algorand. And I came across something, and I'm just going to kind of go through, right, the NFT aspect. It says, new Algorand project plays ball with the SEC, now focused on fractional NFTs. And I'm not saying go all in on Algo now. That's what I'm saying. I know I'm going to do some, now that we're towards the bottom, I'm going to do some portfolio adjustment here for the HODLs, because we're in good places, right? But I think it's important to see where things are, right? Utility-wise. We know NFTs on an XRP ledger, that's the future. Not really Solana, not Ethereum, not right now anyway. But Algo is also low-key one of the fastest projects out there. And it has utility. And it's being used. But I saw this from March. And it says that they went and actually... says on Wednesday evening, this is March 4th, news leaked in Bloomberg that the SEC is seeking information on so-called fractional NFTs, which involve breaking down the assets into units that can be easily bought and sold. A part of the bigger probe scrutinizing creators of NFTs and crypto exchanges where they trade to determine if some of the assets run afoul for the agency's rules. Again, the SEC is all they're trying to do is come after crypto. Now, this is 2 months ago, but they're coming. They're coming right now. 100%. And so I want to show you that Algo is trying to play ball with them. Algorand, USDC runs on Algorand as well. You know, we need to see and pay attention to it. Circle runs on Algorand. It's kind of some of the things that we liked it way back when it was under, what, 5 cents. So now we need to see and watch it play out and kind of shift our money. We're getting in at that point where I want to begin to shift money around, which will probably start next week or into this weekend. I want to see what capitulates over the weekend. I know during this time we put everything into XRP, and which is best because it's actually had the least amount of pullback out of everything since that point that I did that. So yeah, we've had some ugliness, but percentage wise, we are in the best ballpark. And I think that shows even here, right? This is 7%, 16, 8, 16. BNB is pretty close. Ethereum 8, Bitcoin 10, right? So it's about, I mean, even here, 4.3%. And these are some of the things we need to look at, right? It's like if we're going to be in an asset during volatility, which one has the highest upside? That means which one has already gone down over the years, and XRP is the one been pushed the most down. I mean, whatever it be, the lawsuit or New World Order, whatever it may be, right? So that's where we are right now. But Algo, somewhere down here. I don't know where Algo is on this. Where are you at? Number 31. Okay. So this is Algo on the last 7. I mean, Algo's kind of just ranging from, well, that's May 5th. So that's why it looks like it's ranging. Right? I think April, it was 80 cents and now it's down to 64, 63. So nothing too crazy, but this is something I want to focus on and look at. Now, why? One of those is something that came out last week is Flare Network receives grant to connect Bitcoin with Algorand, right? So you have Bitcoin, Algorand, Flare. Now you're going to have F Bitcoin, F Algorand, F XRP, I think F Dogecoin, so far, right? These are F assets that are going to run on the Flare network. And it's, you know, this partnership is literally going to take the Algorand ecosystem and use the DeFi industry and kind of combine them. So here's what they have to say. It says, we're excited to partner with Flare and welcome them to the Algorand ecosystem. Our grant partnership with Flare will develop key DeFi infrastructure with a bridge to Bitcoin, opening up opportunities to further collaborate and innovate. We look forward to our partnership bringing value to our respective communities. Now, I know people don't really know what the heck's going on. Flare is launching in July, on July 4th to be exact. And I have a feeling we're going to be, remember I talked about the market psychology in July? Like, I think we're going to be in disbelief. Like, it's a sucker's rally into hope, right? August, September, October, right? I think this is how it's going to blow off. I think we're finishing out this. I like it to be faster, but, you know, if we even get a little pump for the rest of May, I'll be excited. But this is what we're looking at. And so when Flare launches in July, this is going to move a lot of assets forward. And I think that's important. That's why we want to talk about that, because just in case you missed it, and this is what got my attention, it says it's a 7-figure grant. Flare has been awarded a 7-figure Algo Foundation grant. So you got it on both ways to develop that Bitcoin bridge. So Bitcoin is slow. Lightning doesn't work. And so if Bitcoin people want to use Bitcoin, we got to get it on other systems. And even though the Bitcoin maxis just ignore all of the crypto, all the other crypto is going to make Bitcoin move faster. And this is part of it. So the bridge, it says, will engineered using Flare's native cross-chain protocols, offering great security than existing technology through the use of consensus and risk mitigation to manage bridging rather than custodial multi-signature approach. So we wanted to see, you got Algorand, you got Flare combining, you got Bitcoin, and these are all things that are just looking ugly in the charts. And again, Flare is going to launch on July 4th. So be patient. And I'm going to show you chart this one more time. We're down here right now. Okay. Is it all going to zero? That's literally that's what I wake up. I'm like, oh, I'm glad. Like last night, I closed all the shorts or longs and shorts, closed everything last night. I go to bed without the trades open now so I can sleep. It's the whole point of me closing my trades so I don't have to look at the markets while I'm awake, while I'm sleeping. And really, it's because I feel we're down here right now. And I think as this goes, we're going to go into disbelief. As we go into the Bitcoin bear market retrace, will be that. Now, I'm going to go over this quick because this is the last part. And this is a thread by Fox River developers. And he says, the reason why Algo has been pushed under the radar is because unlike every other layer 1 blockchain, it's actually a thread. The promise of ETH 2.0 today. So is Algorand actually ETH 2.0? Maybe that would be the title. I'm going to write that down as I upload this later. Is Algorand actually ETH 2.0? And so he shows the pure proof of stake. In short, each round of consensus protocol appends to a new block in the blockchain. An account is elected to purpose the next block. A committee is elected to filter and vote on the block proposals. A new committee is elected to reach a quorum and certify the block. The new block is appended to the blockchain. Through this cryptographic lottery, an online account is elected with probability direct proportionally to its stake. Each algo corresponds to an attempt to win the lottery, right? I want you guys to be able to see that. Okay, so let's move on. Actually, this is what we do. Let's look at it as a thread, shall we? It says, here we go. First thing says, Algorand is one of the only layer 1s that can meet global financial transaction requirements with primitives built directly into the protocol, says the Skybridge spokesperson. The founder and team are the best in the world at what they do, Algo. Once you look at the teams of the layer 1 projects, you can immediately spot that most of them don't even have cryptographers on board at all. That's true. Algorand is some of the best in the world. And we're not going to go into those, but it says Chris Parrott, head of cryptography at Algorand, is a world leader in the latest base post-quantum cryptography. For the past 15 years, he's been working on a theory and practice of post-quantum. So that's this guy, Chris Parrott. When you have a team of the world-leading experts in their field, you get the best tech you can get. They have distributed systems, cryptography, and game theory. They have experts in these worlds. So it's not just information. So here's your distributed systems, your cryptography, your game theory, smart contracts, public tamper-proof, transparent, trustless ledgers. Right? Algorand is not something I have to be convinced. Okay? I'm just kind of reading this to you guys today. Algorand is a practical solution to blockchain, and on top of its trustless, secure, carbon negative. So that's what it goes into there, scalability, etc. Pure proof of stake, that's what it has. Using tamper-proof randomness in 3 different steps of every single block appended to the Algo blockchain. It's decentralized, secure, scalable, and green. So what is proof of stake security? I can click on it. The adversary does not know which users it should corrupt. The adversary since protocol tolerate number. Oh, that's malicious attacks. Don't really care about that. Says, but here's what we do care about. Algorand has never experienced downtime since its first block, Genesis, the beginning. Algorand transactions are 100% available to end-to-end users, 100% instantly final. Algorand transactions are secured by a very decentralized network. Algorand security is a feature of its own efficacy or efficiency. Yeah, whatever. We also have, it says Algorand is chosen for financial innovation use cases. And this is what I like. You got the smart contracts, you got the standard assets, you got the atomic transfers, and you got the rekeying, which means single public address. Right? It's also one of the only layer ones that can meet global financial transaction requirements because it's built into its protocol, which is nice. Stablecoins, securities, currencies, utility tokens, real estate, certifications, all of that sitting there on layer 1 standard. He also has Algorand state proof. Here we go. This is how everything is, the automatic atomic transfers. Everything is able to move to where you want to move it to. Period. Stablecoins can go to Algorand, fiat to Algorand. All right? From there, you can go back and forth, real estate to deed. It allows you to do the smart contracts and kind of do the business that you need to do. Okay, yeah, this is good. I'm going to read this just in case you guys don't know what layer 1 means. Layer 1 means, how does execution on layer 1 mean? That's the layer 1. Here we go. So smart contracts are executed at a consensus level. Benefit from network speed, security, and scalability. Fast, trustless execution at approximately 4.5 seconds per block. Low-cost execution, less than 0.001 algo per transaction. Instant finality of smart contracts. Once it's executed, it's done. Native interoperability with layer 1 primitives, so other layer 1s can be interoperable. Safe high languages. Those are the coding languages. And low energy consumption because you know it's a green world right now. Let's see. What else do I want to see here? Just in case, 1,000 transactions per second. Okay, they're working on getting that to 10,000 transactions per second. 5 seconds per block, under 0.001 algo per transaction. There are no soft forks, no minimum stakes, no carbon negative effects. They're really pushing that, huh? Let's see here. By the way, you guys know Algorand is all over the place. It's on the little drone stuff. It's on FIFA, the sponsorships. They're really, really moving. They're really, really moving as far as sponsorships and getting their name out there. And this is last but not least, as Anthony Scaramucci says, Skybridge has about 4 million of Algorand on its balance sheet out of the 3.5 billion. So 4%. Not even. Sorry, my back needs popped. Not even. But they're moving into that. He's betting big on Algorand. It says, he says, we may be wrong about this. I think we're so early that none of us are wise enough to predict which layer 1s are going to ultimately be the operating standards, if you will, over the next 10 to 15 years. Again, we are long-term investing. People are trying to swing. No. Hold. Yeah, okay, yeah, I bought it at 5 and now I got it at 50 cents. Good for you. But what if you got it at 60 cents and got it at $300? Right? Think about it. Bitcoin showed you it can go from $1 to $60,000 with no utility. None. Strictly marketing. Bitcoin has got to $60,000 on strict marketing. Now imagine something that has utility, tech, a reason to exist, right? This is why we're looking things like Algorand. Scaramucci believes that the smart contract platform is one of the few that have truly solved the blockchain trilemma. Decentralization, security, and scalability. And that's why people are here. It's the smart contracts. That's why people are here, the smart contracts. Now, we're not going to go and look at this, right? This is not what's exciting to us, is when we go and we look at, okay, it looks like I'm in an algo long right now as we speak, because as I was researching, I sent out an algo long. So it looks like it's holding up so far. right? But that's why we're in this space. We're in this space for actual investing. If you come to this channel like, I'm going to try to make $1 million overnight, like, it's a waste of your time. And you come to me as a client like, I need to make $1 million now. It's a waste of your time. I'm here to not make you $1 million. I'm here to make you generationally wealthy. I'm here so you can go on vacation whenever you want. I'm here to say, put in the work for 2, 3, 4 years. Put it in. Put your head down and rise and grind. And then spend the rest of your life doing what you want, what you love, with your family. As we sell this house and we move to El Paso, it's not about being in this massive house or being in this really small house. It's about doing the grind that makes you and your family together to move forward. Because in the end, what do you have? You've got God, you've got your family, and you got your values. Everything else, you're long or short. But what I'm long on right now, I'm long on God, I'm long on my family, and I'm long on my research in this crypto market. And I hope it's helped you out. I really, really do. It helps you out. So next week, since it's the end of the news topic, we're going to start to dive into more cryptos. And then on the long sum, short sum, I'll be setting up maybe evening trades into it. If you're interested, I have done things like, I think I've activated, I know the super chats on here. The members are on here on YouTube. I'm going to try to figure that out because I don't think I can actually go on here and really put those signals out like on YouTube as I'm doing the trades. I don't know the legalities of that. You know, I don't want the SEC to come knocking. But I want to show you guys exactly how I'm going to do this because the whole point of this channel, right, is to help create general wealth, not to rug pull you. That's why I don't come on here and talk about meme coin this or NFT this or go buy this coin. I don't do that. This is about the long term. It is a marathon, not a sprint, guys. So come join the Telegram group. Put the tinfoil hat on. I'm there every once in a while. If you want to do signals calls, we have a paid group for that. I haven't even really launched that yet. I'm just looking for interest. If you're in it before I close it, you're getting that stuff for free. Because I'm just here for you guys. Again, God, family, values. What order do you put those things in? I'm your boy, Christian Israel, and this is the end of the daily topic, guys. We will jump into the next one. Please like, subscribe, do the social media thing. This is the end of this section. If this is where you get off, I'll see you Friday. God bless, guys. Catch you soon. Okay, we are back. We are back. It's 9:55, and I've got one section left. A little longer today than expected, but it's Friday, and we're really watching the markets because it's ugly and it's trying to dump on us. Don't dump on us. Hold the line. Where's Braveheart when you need him? You can take my life, but you can never take my freedom. I think Mel Gibson then gets his head chopped off. Spoiler alert, Mel Gibson gets his head chopped off there. I don't know if that's what we're going to happen here as we're screaming, please don't take our freedom, as in hold the line. Is Bitcoin going to chop our head off at the end of the day and we're going to go running and yelling? Or are you going to take the weekend off, man? Because remember, guys, do not trade on the weekends. Unless you have nothing else to do and you're very, very dedicated to what you do, because the weekend trading, me personally, that's where I've lost the most money. I have lost the most money in these markets trading on the weekends. So I don't do that anymore. Unless it's like buy right now, like at a super low, and we're going to hold. It's hard not to hold this, but I'm talking swing trades. You know, those daily swings. I don't do that on the weekends, man. I spend time with the family. So good morning to everybody. Dragonfire, Ilya, Lee Lord, Alex, Yeet. Great to see you guys, man. I love when you guys come into the channel. You know, and I'm thinking about this before I move on to the new creation section. When we moved to El Paso, we would be an hour earlier. So the question is, guys, would you like the show to be at the same exact time, which would be 9 a.m. Central? But if I move to 9 a.m., just saw a spider. Sorry. Just literally, I was like, is that a spider? I saw a black widow at my house the other day. Sorry. Saw a black widow at the house. Not digging it. Not digging it. I didn't. The wife did. And the daughter. Not digging it. Anyway. We're going to move to El Paso, right? Get a new house, shifting everything. Just like the area. Want to be west. Want to be in the national parks. Want to be able to take weekends off and really just get away from the green, the rain, the snow. Like in Dallas, it's just ridiculous. And I don't really like the people either. But we're going to go to El Paso. Love the weather. Go west. Close enough to California without being in California. It's not really Arizona. Still in Texas. Further point, right there next to Mexico. With all that said, it's in the mountain time zone. So would you want this show to be at 9 a.m. Central Time still? Or would it be 10 a.m.? Or will we back that thing up and get this going strictly early? And what I mean by that is starting at 8 a.m. Well, really 8:30 is what I'd like to do. 8:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. is what I would like to do. And why? Because then we catch the opening. The market's just open, so we can look at the technicals as it opens and go from there. I don't know. I'm figuring that out. Oh, yeah, Lee, I do want to do Big Bend. That's one of the reasons we want to go there. Big Bend and then the White Sands National Park. That's about an hour north of El Paso. That's really what? Like, we went to Big Thicket recently. We went to Dinosaur Valley Park. Like, we like to hike. We like to do national parks. And I want to go west for that, so. Okay, let me not keep talking here and go ahead and jump into the section because I got stuff to do today, just like you guys. Thank you for the likes. The goal is to get 10 likes. We're going to move into the new creation section now and keep it rolling. I love you guys so much. Let's fade to black and do the new creation section. This is my favorite part of the podcast. Thanks for hanging out. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, then you are a new creation. All right, guys, we are here. Welcome to the new creation section. This is the third section of our morning podcast of Christ and Crypto in the morning every single day, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., Monday through Friday. We are here. And we break down the market in threes. The first section is the market from a technical perspective, using charts and analytics. The second part of this show is looking at the market from a news cycle perspective, looking at different projects that we deep dive in and maybe what other hedge funds are doing, what the market is doing, and just kind of what's going on in the world in general. But most importantly is this third section. This is the trinity of the section where we focus on Christ. This is called Christ and Crypto. So this whole show, which makes it unique, has Christ at its center. So if you don't want to listen about Jesus Christ, don't come to this part of the section. But this is what the whole thing is. That's why we're called New Creation Capital, right? Because when you are in Christ, you are a new creation. Whether that be you, your finances, your wife, your life, wherever you knew it. But once you put whatever you give to Christ, Christ will make new. And that's where we are, right? So I want to read to you today. Now, I rambled off a little longer than I want to. So I'm just going to read the scripture and I'm going to do my best to get through it. I just want to read it to you. Because I hear a lot of people, I think everybody in America has heard the name Jesus. And I think most people in the world have heard Jesus and understand who God is. And people always ask the question, well, if God created everything, why did he create evil? Why do you allow that baby to die? What about those children? What about poverty? And my answer to that is, yes, God created everything, but he also created free will. But in our fall, when Adam and Eve split, in our fall, sin means to be separated from God. And in that separation from God, that's where evil dwells. And we have to choose to love God. We have to choose to walk in that. Now, because we have free will, things happen. But this is not the world that we live in, right? This is the previous, this is our JV before we get into varsity. This is our chance to choose to walk with God before he reveals his ultimate kind love for us. So much that he brought Jesus here, our son, to show us how to do it. And so at this point in time, in America at least, there's some parts of the world that have never heard of Jesus, cannot hold a Bible, In China, for instance, or North Korea, if you have a Bible in your hand, you are going to prison and you are going to be killed. Africa right now, Nigeria, a lot of places around the world, to be a believer in Jesus Christ will get you killed. There is no other place in the world that any religion outside of Jesus Christ do you get killed. Nowhere. If anyone believes in Jesus Christ in most countries that aren't Christian-based countries, well, there's not a lot. The main one is America. Used to be anyway, right? Christian-based country, you were killed. And so people in this country really upsets me a lot. And this is where, I preach every single day on where I am. And this morning I Googled verses about freedom. Freedom. That was my thought processes. My wife this morning was listening to a song in the kitchen making our daughter her lunch. We wake up early and a song, gone are the chains that are holding me. Gone is the person I used to be. Free from the fear of the perfect love. This is my exodus. This is my exodus. Song goes, freedom looks good on you. Hey, freedom looks good on you. Right? It's about being free. Try it on. Try it on. Yeah, like gone are those chains, like the slavery holding you down of what the world wants from you. Do you ever feel that way, being pulled left and right consistently? And I realize as my household gets better, which it is getting better, because we're new. New wife, new stepdaughter, new house, new city, new freedoms, new expectations. New goals, new hopes, new dreams. When I look at my 9-year-old every day, as I yell and discipline her at the same time, I also feel, and pray for me. If you guys have kids, oh Lord, demon children, pray for me. Sweet girl. But we look and go, out of all the argument we do, we argue with our children because we want them to have better futures for them. We want them to have the best. That's why I drove my daughter her lunch after she forgot it. We drove it all the way there, then came here because we want her to have the best. And since we know we want her to have the best, there is no excuse for her to not try her best because she knows her parents are trying her best. And that's what this is here. God has given you the freedom to try your best, to go towards him, to walk towards him, to guide. He's shown us the way. He's literally gave us his word, he gave us the Spirit, and he gave us his Son, who is the Spirit, who is the Word, who is God. So we have no excuse here to walk in evil, to walk in slavery, to walk in burden-yoked heaviness. There is no excuse anymore. And that's what this is here, is written here. Now, this is Romans 1, 15 to 32, and this is Paul writing from prison. Paul, who wrote most of the New Testament, is writing this in prison right now, saying these things. And he's in prison for being a believer in Jesus Christ. He wasn't in prison before he became a believer for stoning somebody. Well, he executed. He didn't execute, but he okayed the execution of Stephen, the first person that shows in the scriptures to die, to be murdered, to be martyred for Jesus Christ. And so much that as he was being stoned, he looks up into the sky and sees the clouds open up and says, I see the Son of God sitting at the right hand. There is my Savior. As he's being stoned, God has taken all that pain from him. And he sees it and he's moving in. And so there is no excuse, because we have been given everything here in America specifically. My daughter is a great example. We are the children of God, right? We give them everything we can to succeed. And Jesus has done the same for us. And this is where it comes in, and I'm going to read this because I said I wouldn't just talk, but I failed that. Here it goes. It goes, God's wrath is being revealed from heaven against the ungodly behavior and the injustice of humans being silenced. No, the injustice of humans who silence the truth and injustice. What does that sound like right now? Human beings who silence the truth and injustice. This is because what is known about God should be plain to them, because God made it plain to them. People are trying to block out how obvious God is. You want to know an example? What's the definition of a woman? What's the definition of conception? What's the definition of marriage? What is a man and a woman? What does the definition of a family look like? How many parents can a child have? Can a child be born with multiple sexes? Do you see? Things that 40 years ago, easily, I could walk into a room and say, that's a woman. And everybody agree. Now, that's a woman. Hey, I'm a they. What? And this is my point. This is the scriptures. If they can cause confusion, if the devil can cause confusion, then they can cause that to deny Christ. The same people who are telling you that if you take a poke once, you'll never get the C, to all of a sudden you need it 4 or 5 times, calling it science. Those same people who say you can't be born a woman or a man are the same people who are telling you to kill yourself, right? They don't want you to have God as your creator. They want to be your God, and that's what it says. It says, ever since the creation of the world, God's invisible qualities, God's eternal power, divine nature have been seen clearly. You ever looked your child in the eyes? You ever seen a beautiful sunset? You ever heard a mockingbird do a sound, mimic a sound? You ever heard complete silence in the middle of nature? God's eternal, here's another one. You ever looked at how an eye is developed? Look at the complication of just our eye. And you're going to tell me that's chance? Do you know that if the stars, any of those stars up there, any of them, are moved slightly in one direction or the other, we don't exist? The moon, a half an inch one direction or the other, we don't exist? Oxygen levels, one direction or the other, we don't exist. God's eternal power and divine nature has been made clearly because it's understood, they understood through the things God has made. Humans are without excuse. It says in the scriptures that we are made in his image. We are made like them, the Trinity. Although they knew God, and that's our previous people, they did not honor God or thank him. And what do you mean? Well, we got people, Beyonce, right, who worships the devil on 100% now on all her music. Guess what she grew up doing? She grew up singing in church. That voice God gave her, she now uses to worship the devil. You think I'm kidding? Go look at all her videos. Go look at her symbolism. And then go see what that symbolism is. And you tell me, does it look like Jesus Christ? I'm not saying the Pope or the Catholic Church. Don't get me. That's symbolism too. And the scriptures are very clear about symbolism. So much that Jesus on a cross, still today, is something that he would not agree with for all of us wearing all over the place. Symbolism. Right? Although they knew God, they didn't honor him. They're wearing the cross as fashion. They don't honor him. In fact, they mock him. Instead, their reasoning became pointless, and their foolish hearts were darkened. Well, I'm not a doctor. I can't give you the definition of a woman. That's literally what the Supreme Court, what was the black lady who just came on? That's what she said. They asked her, can you give the definition of a woman? She said, I'm not a doctor. A woman is pretty simple, and a man is pretty simple. We have genitalia, period, done. Right? Ovaries inside, testicles outside. Man, woman, done. Instead, pointless reasoning, foolish hearts, they're darkened. They claim to be wise, but they make themselves look like fools. They exchange the glory of the immortal God for images that look like mortal humans, birds, animals, reptiles. Does that sound familiar right now? Does that sound familiar right now? Humans looking for other images of other humans, birds, animals, reptiles. That's all their idols. We have an issue, and this is no different than Israel when they left Egypt at the mount before they got the 10 Commandments. They needed to see God, even though God was with them every single day, walking, giving them manna, giving them doves, giving them water from rocks, pillar by day, fire by night. All of those things just brought them out of Egypt with the literally going after Egypt. I'm going to have to do that one time and break down the 10 plagues in Egypt and how each plagues actually went after each one of Egypt's individual gods that they worshipped. Because the scripture says the gods that Egypt worship are evil. God in the Bible does not deny that there are evil spirits and that other things exist. In fact, he says the devil is so powerful, he can do anything but harm you. He can only whisper to you, but he's powerful because he knows he was God's second in command. And that's what I tell people, well, all these religions are so close. The best way to get people to forget about the true God is to make it so close that they're like, well, it's close enough. There's this, I'm going to move to this world over here, I'm going to die, then get to choose and do all that, or I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that. Close enough to them says, I feel like I'm believing in Jesus because it's close enough. But that's not it. That's the foolish desires. Looking at other stuff. So God abandoned them to their heart's desires. Right now in America, all those people who want to do it this towards the end times, he's abandoned. You know what? That's what you want to worship. That's really what you want. The scriptures are clear. God will give you the desires of your heart. And that's why there's evil in the world. God will give you what you want for real. Exactly what you want. And all the consequences that come with it. You have rich and fame? Well, get rid of peace and ambiguity. Right? Like, do you really want that? He says the fact that he gave them their heart's desires, it led to moral corruption and degrading of their own bodies, sleeping around with everybody, right? Everyone's so mad right now because they can't sleep with who they want to. They can't have sex with who they want to. They can't have one night stands without consequences. So much that girl on The View I saw this morning said, you know what? If they're gonna strike down abortions, this is a 65-year-old woman, strike down abortions, then which is not true. That is not what just happened. And I'll get into that later about Roe v. Wade, and really I had to dive into what it actually was. I had a conversation with my wife. I was like, okay, that makes sense. So then I dove into it and really researched actually what it is and what was struck down. And then you got people saying, like this lady, Joy, whatever the redhead's name is, saying, we're going to go on a sex strike. Women, stop sleeping with men until they get abortions right. And my thought process was, wow, you mean you're telling women to not sleep around with every single man that they want, just like men should not sleep around with every woman they want? You mean show some, what is that word I'm looking for? I always tell my daughter that. I can't think of the name. When you really want that food, you don't grab it, it's right in front of you. It's not patience. I can't think of it. It just took it literally out of my head. I was on my road. This is why I don't preach on the stage in a sermon, because I would blank out like this. I'd probably have to write it down. But my point is, you're going to threaten with purity. Do you hear that? Oh, if I can't abort a baby up to restraint. That's it, Lee. Thank you. Restraint. They're saying, hey, and this is New York and DC, and you think I'm kidding. They can abort a baby after it's been born. This is not a discussion of the womb. They want to kill babies after they have been born and make it legal. That is Rome. That is human sacrifice. And so her Joy on that, go look it up. If you want to do that, your argument with killing babies is, you know what? If I can't kill babies when I want to, because it's my body, my choice, that baby, right? Then you're going to be abstinent? You mean you're going to give your body to one man? Your husband only? Now, I have 3 children, okay? Now listen to me. I have 3 children by 3 women. I know, well, one's a stepdaughter, so she's not mine. I have 2 children, but I have 3, right? I have 2 12-year-olds and a 9-year-old. So I am not saying that we don't do crazy things, right? Back then, I was not a follower of God. I was on the other side. I did whatever I wanted to. And I lived my life that way, and I paid the mistakes. My children aren't mistakes, but I've done some horrible things. Sober, drunk, high, pride, whatever it may be. Now, it is what it is. We've all done things we don't like. So when I go back and say it, it's not me saying, hey, live this way perfect, because no one is perfect. Only Christ is perfect. But I'm telling you that, and this says, once you know God, right now that I know God, I don't have an excuse anymore. Now that we know the name Jesus Christ, you no longer have an excuse. And that's what he's saying here. That's what he's saying here. That these people traded God's truth for a lie. And they worshiped and served the creation instead of the creator. You hear that? They worship the creation instead of the creator. That's why God abandoned them to their degrading lust. Are you ready? I'm going to describe America to you right now. And it's on our money. This country loves fame, money, and power. Those are the idols, and science. That's the idols of the country. And God says they traded God's truth for that lie. They worshiped and served the creation instead of the creator, who is blessed forever. And he says, because that, this is strictly to America right now. Listen to what I say to you, and I'm not going to go, I'm just going to read, and we're going to close out. Please listen. That's why God abandoned them to their degrading lust. Their females traded natural sexual relations for unnatural relations, sexual relations. Also, in the same way males traded natural relations with females and burned with lust for each other. Males performed shameful actions with males, and they were paid back with the penalty they deserved for their mistake in their own bodies. The diseases from that stuff. That's what he's saying there. Obviously, disease from male on male was back then. Since they didn't think it was worthwhile to acknowledge God right now, they don't think it's worthwhile to acknowledge God. People say the Bible is not sufficient to today. God abandoned them to a defective, I don't know what that word is, mind to do inappropriate things. So they were filled with all injustice, wicked behavior, greed, and evil behavior. They are full of jealousy, murder, fighting, deception, and malice. They are gossips and are full of jealousy. I just read that. They are gossips, they slander people, and they hate God. Tell me that's not today. They are rude and proud, and they brag. Oh, come on. Somebody talk to me here. They invent ways to be evil. Like, I didn't even know we could be that evil. And they are disobedient to their parents. Right? Okay. I mean, look at it. Kids are killing their parents on a scale I've never seen before. So high. Because parents are children now. And the parents are parenting parents. And I'm not going to get into that, but some people have having to be parents since they were children. And now as they're trying to be parents, they're trying to heal their inner child and be the best parent they can be. That's all of us. But I've never seen parents being killed by children at such a high rate. They are without understanding, disloyal, without affection, without mercy. Though they know God's decision that those who persist in such practices deserve death, they not only keep going and doing these things, but also approve others who practice them. That's the end. Do you hear that? Tell me that's not America today. People say the Bible just doesn't work today. And I know this is 30 minutes in this section. I needed to talk. It's a Friday. We get the weekend off. This is why we are out excuses. That's my thought process, guys. And I didn't mean to go on that today. I went to look at freedom, and in reality, what is freedom? Freedom for me is getting the burden of the world off, allowing Jesus to take my yoke, building my family, getting closer to God, and living my day one day at a time. Oh, that's so easy to say. But the only way to get here is by going through the wilderness, going through the hard times. Because the more things get good for you, I guarantee you, no one looks to God and says, thank you, God, when everything is going well. I mean, some do. I do. My wife does. It's funny to hear her say it all the time. Right? It's funny to say it all the time. But it's true. She says it. When my faith is lacking, her faith is there. Who do you have when your faith is lacking? Because you are now without excuse. You have been put on notice. If you listen to this podcast and you've heard my words, and you've heard the words of the Lord and that Paul wrote here, you are now put on notice. What are you going to do about it? This was not written today. 2,000 years ago. That sound the same as today? This was the fall of Rome. Is it too late? Or will America be next? I don't know. But what I do know, God is the same today, yesterday, and tomorrow. I love you guys so much. This is the end of the new creation section. Didn't mean to get all deep for you on a Friday. But you know, you let the Lord lead. That's what he said to tell you. So, love you guys so much. That's the end of this section. Like, subscribe, do the social media thing. Let's fade to black. This is my favorite part of the podcast. Thanks for hanging out. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, then you are a new creation. Okay, guys. Well, we are out of here. I see AJ needs to get her butt back to bed. It's my day off and I'm getting up at freaking 5. Well, go to bed. Why are you up at 5? And where are you at again that you're up at 5? I love you guys so much, man. I appreciate you for dealing with me and allowing the Lord to use me here. I use this to try to get my day started. Gonna have my coffee here. Hope you guys have a good weekend. It's okay. It's okay. See that? See that green? It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. It's time to get out of here. Please remember these few things. God loves you. I love you. You are loved. Remember that. Until next time, guys, you have a wonderful weekend. Take care, guys. Love you so much. God bless. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Please make sure you like, subscribe, share this video, subscribe to this channel, and do the thing that people do on social media. At Twitter, at TikTok, New Creation Capital. Let us know, guys. Thanks so much. I hope you guys have a great day. Later, guys.